Hey, it has been, which I was gonna say ignore my messy room, but no, like this is a reality for me, so you're gonna see it. There it is. Also, just like I'm too lazy to move. So hi. It's been a minute since I've done one of these. Um, I think there's a well, there I know there are a few reasons for that. One of them is that this is the reality of how I do things. I get excited about them, and I go all in for a little bit and then I get bored and I move on. So basically, yeah, I did that first video, the very first video on my channel, bleh, just as an experiment. And wow, I'm just going right into it. Just to be really candid, I got like some attention. I got like 500 views or something and some comments, and that was cool. And I was like, oh, this is fun. Like, ooh, dopamine. Whatever, this is fun. And to just like, I like getting to just ramble and be authentically me and fucking weird and just interested in the things I'm interested in. So, but I would be lying if I said there wasn't part of me that liked, like, ooh, comments, ooh, views, which we're all vain like that, I think. And we all, not maybe all of us, but I don't know. We all like attention on social media, I think. I don't know that it's a crime to feel that way. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so that like part was fun. And again, just getting to share my thoughts and be earnest and authentic because that's the kind of person I am. And then, yeah, I don't know. It started to just feel like something I was doing. I don't like feeling like I'm doing something out of obligation. I like to do it because I'm such an altruist. Out of like, I don't want to say the from like a true place in my fucking heart or whatever, because that sounds so cheesy, but that's kind of how I have to feel about things, which I think is part of the reason why I've had so much trouble with discipline in my life. But that's another story for another day. But yeah, so it was like I did it, got excited about it, and then it kind of the novelty wore off, and then I stopped. But I think the more, well, maybe not more, but just another reason is that I just got really sick the past like month, which has been maybe a couple months now. I haven't even looked at the thing. I'm just doing this because I feel like it right now. Which again is why I started doing this because I wanted to just do it when I felt like it. So anyway, I don't know if I'm making any fucking sense right now. I'm making sense to me, so whatever. I guess if I sound crazy to you, just ignore me. Uh, but yeah, so I have just been this. I don't know. This start of the year has been kind of weird and felt like harder than I thought it would be, which, mind you, we're almost to the end of April. So I don't know about the start of the year anymore, but January was weird for me. We had some like cold weather, and my roommate was gone for a few weeks, and like I talked about it a little bit, but it just felt very like empty and quiet in a way that kind of stressed me out at home, weirdly enough. Um, it felt very like existential, which everything feels existential to me, I guess. I'm kind of obsessed with existentialism, but I don't know. There was something about January that felt like its own little pocket of time, I guess. Uh, and then, yeah, I don't know. February was a blur. I feel like I don't even remember it. And March and April, March was so busy. Yeah, it's because I like everybody in my life, all my friends and family have birthdays in like March and April. So March was like, I was just going too hard, I think. And one week I had like three birthday parties in like a 7 day period. And the unfortunate thing about me is I like to party not too hard. I'm not doing anything crazy, but hard enough that like it's not super easy on my body. So I don't know. I just think I got overwhelmed and pushed myself too hard, and I just really crashed hard. And it's been like 3 weeks of I just got really sick, and it's like this chronic illness that I have that I got from overworking myself when I lived in LA. And it kind of flared up again. And it's the first time that happened since the first time that it happened, which was really bad. And someday I'll write something about that because it was just it really altered the way that I perceive reality. To be honest, like I was so sick and scared and didn't feel like I had a way out or any help to like get medicine or see a doctor because okay, it was during COVID, but I didn't have COVID, but I was so sick, and like in so much pain and miserable, but I couldn't see a doctor because I was living in LA at the peak of the pandemic, and you could only really see a doctor if you had COVID because the pandemic was that bad. So that it was just like a sort of storm of circumstances that caused a really stressful situation for me. Yeah, and I just was so sick that, and I scared and going through so much in my personal life that it it just altered the way that I live, mentally and physically, I think. Very formative experience for me, unfortunately. So, anyway, that was like a very real, real moment I shared with you and just information. Again, clearly I need to talk about it because getting sick, I think, is always stressful to like a certain extent. And especially working in the service industry right now and not getting to physically work if I'm sick, is another thing, and financial strain, but also like I think it just brought me back to a mental space that I really did not like and stressed me out. So anyway, um, physically I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling with a lot of fatigue, a lot of fatigue. I slept in really, really late today, and my roommate was like, "I was worried about you." I'm like, "No, I'm fine. I just need rest." And I'm such a night owl. Like my whole schedule is usually skewed towards evening anyway, towards nighttime. That's just how I am. Uh, but yeah, so I'm getting there, and actually, this is a part of that because getting to have an internal conversation with myself and who I am, not only who I am, but like just what I'm feeling on the day to day. That's really important to me being able to take care of myself and process my emotions, I think. Uh, which is why this is good. And journaling is, I was just journaling. I'm not even done yet. I've written like 5 pages tonight. Just like going through some of the things I've been dealing with the past couple months. For the first time that I feel like I've had time to slow down and do that. And yeah, getting back into therapy. Made my first appointment in a few years for next week, so I'm excited about that. Um, I genuinely enjoy like the process of understanding myself and like getting to know myself, and I dedicate a lot of my time to that, obviously. Mhm. What I'm doing right now. So yeah, I don't know. Things are looking up. I've just been busy the past few months and like, a little stressed out. Had some family stuff going on, which is good and exciting, and everybody's happy for the most part and healthy. But just big life changes and things that have made me reflect on where I'm at and what I'm doing and asking myself if I'm happy with my life trajectory and where it's going. And I think that that is true of me as of right now, which is like really exciting. And I have so many people in my life that I really, really love, and getting to spend time with them and dedicate time to them and just trying not to take things too seriously that I don't need to and enjoy myself. Like telling myself I'm allowed to enjoy things. And that there's not necessarily merit, I guess, in suffering. Because I think we can sometimes attach nobility to like some sort of, I don't know, social currency or something to suffering for the sake of things. And I don't know, I'm just forever exploring my worldview and how I feel about things. And yeah, that's exciting to me. So I think for the most part, I'm doing a lot better, which might not be super obvious, I think, to people who are observing my behaviors because, you know, you gotta cope. And yeah, anyway, I don't know. I went thrifting today and found a lot of stuff that I was looking for. I found some really cool boots and some stuff for Ren Fair and a dress for actually a couple options for dresses for my cousin's wedding, which I'm really excited for. So Deku, my cat, one of my cats, Deku, is down here giving him pets. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just in this moment thinking about these videos and like talking the way I am. And there's something about my voice, I think, as an artist that I do well with stream of consciousness, and I really enjoy stream of consciousness. So I don't know, maybe I need to read more stuff like that. But I've been reading a lot. That's something I was really excited about. I've been reading a ton. I've really like established my morning routine as I get up and I make a cup of coffee and I read for the duration it takes me to drink that coffee and hopefully more, like if I have more time in the day. But unless I have to get up like early for work for whatever reason, that is something that I do pretty much every single day. And I've been wanting to establish some more routine in my life. So that is good. I'm excited about that. Yeah, and I think I'm just in a moment too where I'm like itching to write and get back on the page. And it sucks that I haven't had time to write, but I think that's a feeling I've been trying to get to for a lot. I mean, for my whole writing career is like I want to be in a place where I'm excited to get my thoughts down and get things on the page. And um, even just tonight, just journaling and just talking about my own thoughts, like I'm doing now. Um, Enjoying the process of that and communicating those things with words, my thoughts and my feelings, has been fun. So I'm hoping that I can keep translating that towards my fiction writing, but I know myself well enough that I feel like I can anticipate where I'm going to be with things in a few days or weeks, or just how I'm going to feel about any given situation. And I remember my ex told me once that he said, I just feel like one day you're just going to snap and you're just gonna write so much and it's gonna be great. And it's weird. I feel like again, just thinking about writing and thinking about crap. Okay, this video really feels like me just checking in with myself, you know? Sorry, there's air in my mouth. Got it. And I really want to get back to doing like I really want to try some more structured things on here, like I've talked about. Like I've been listening to the Chicks album Fly recently, and I want to do a textual analysis of it because it's actually like it's really anti-capitalist and like progressive and interesting to me, which is not a surprise if you know about the Chicks, this country girl group. Anyway, that's its own can of worms that I'll probably get into hopefully in the next few days. But anyway, my point is like just checking in with myself is kind of where I'm at right now. Because I feel like I finally have the bandwidth of like I've been in survival mode and now I have a second to like chill and check in with myself, like I'm saying. So that's what I'm doing right now in this video. So in another one soon, hopefully I will yeah, just like talk about some other stuff and do some analysis because I love analysis, obviously. But anyway, um, but yeah, just with writing, I've been thinking about writing a lot. Obviously, I always do, but I think for a long time I've thought of it as like, oh, it's the thing I'm good at, and it'll be sort of my ticket to a better career once I can get some fiction published and people can see like how much I care about this and how good at it I am, and I know like I know that I sound like an asshole when I say that. Um, but I think it's true. I have taste and I have the ability and the patience and I think the fortitude to like in the long term be good at this, be good at writing. Hopefully in a way that is meaningful to people and that I can communicate my ideas and things I'm interested in. And, you know, I think a lot about things. Obviously, it's, you know, this is just me thinking aloud. I never stop thinking. And I don't know, I just have a lot of faith in my abilities. And I know that that sounds, I don't know, maybe arrogant or conceited to be like, I'm going to be a successful writer because I know I'm good at this and I'm smart and I'm capable and I am dedicated to sitting down and always being better at my craft and learning and growing and but you know if that kind of delusion is what I need to ultimately not just be financially successful in this in that field as a career but to like be great at my craft being a writer, whether it's essays or fiction or novels, whatever it may be. Um, if that's what I need to do it, then maybe it is, and that's okay. Uh, yeah, I once had a friend tell me, and I think this is again to an extent true. I was talking about uh, just I have a little bit of an ego. I am vulnerable enough to admit that when it comes to writing, and again, all this stuff that I've been talking about, this pretentious artist stuff. And I brought it up to him once as like something that I perceived as maybe being a problem, and he was like, you know what? No one ever made something because they thought it was bad. And the fact that you believe in your own work means that you need to be doing it. That's not me paraphrasing, that was just the sort of sentiment that he shared with me. But it's one of the best pieces of advice someone's ever given me. So if I need to ride my entire writing career on being delusional, okay, I'm going to keep being delusional until I write something really, really, really good and keep working it and editing it and, you know, tightening it up and all of that until it's really, 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 really fucking good. Uh, until I make something great. So anyway, at this point, I just need to get back on the page and keep working. I was working on a short story collection of sci-fi short stories that I was like really excited about and are very inspired by sort of Ray Bradbury's Illustrated Man collection of short stories, which is one of my favorites, and I think about it all the time. Kind of like Black Mirror too, like that sort of anthologized, like sci-fi, speculative, almost like with sometimes a horror twist to it. Um, so I was working on that project, which is great because the short stories are a bit more. They were all about 3,500 words of like I've written like three or four of them so far, I think, and so they're a little bit more bite-sized. And then I had a larger novel project that I was working on, not like a larger novel, like a short novel, that I'm excited about and I understand the full scope of, and I know that I could do relatively easily. But I think maybe knowing that it would be a little easier has made me kind of set it aside recently, which is weird and counterintuitive. But I get bored. I think when I feel like I can understand what the sort of net experience of something is going to be. Does that make any sense? Like, if I know, oh, it'll be easy for me to just write this novel and like get it done, and I know what every beat is going to be, and that's it. That's not like as interesting to me because the point I'm getting to in the larger project that I keep coming back to and have had in concept for now 3 years, and I keep working towards, and have written hundreds of thousands of not hundreds of thousands, probably 100,000 words of development documents and stuff for, and I've written about 60,000 words of uh, just what I call exploration prose of. Um, is this larger sci-fi like novel. Well, I thought it was going to be a novel. Now I think it needs to be at least a duology, if not a trilogy, because it's such a big idea, and I know it's going to be a lot of words and a lot more world building than I'm usually used to, and it's just a huge project. It's an epic in my eyes. So it was kind of the main project for me for a long time, but I wanted to set it aside at the end of this last year and the start of this year because I knew how long it was going to take me. But having had to sort of take a break from writing for the past like month and a half, I keep thinking about it. And I think that's really showing me like it's so important to me. And this specific story, this epic that I'm talking about, however many books it would end up being, I think is in so many ways an exploration of how I feel about being alive and my personal experience with being alive and the things that interest me and the way I want to use that to like sort of say something about where we're at and just as a culture and how I feel about it, all of it. Again, I don't know if I'm making sense, but like I'm just realizing how important that project is to me, I think, as an artist. And so I guess the moment I'm in right now is trying to figure out, do I need to keep dedicating myself to smaller projects that are interesting to me but not as exciting as the big project, or do yeah, I think it's just that the big project is something I'll always keep coming back to. And I think right now I'm in a moment where I need to keep working on that, but then I can go back to the smaller projects and get those published first. I'm just someone who needs a bunch of different things going on at once, a lot of different pans in the fire, I guess, because if I'm working on some one thing or thinking about one thing for too long, I get bored. I get bored really easily. It's a problem. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now with just craft. And then I also just want to be writing more essays, just like day to day about how I feel about life and the observations that I have and the experiences I've had and my sort of interpretation of that through sort of creative nonfiction form. So that's another thing I do actually really want to be working on. But journaling is kind of a step in that right direction, and journaling again. So, it's been a couple weeks. I've like done little check-ins with myself when I feel like I've had time, but I've not had time to write more than half a page usually. So anyway, okay, yeah, I started recording this not knowing what this was gonna be. This is just really a little self check-in that I'm now sharing with you. So anyway, behold my messy, depressed, sick room. Uh, this is how it is a lot of the time for me. I'm not proud of it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it, but it's real. This is just what happens because I get really too exhausted to take care of myself. To be frank with you, maybe that's a depressing thing to share, but it's the truth. So anyway, oh, I know. Well, I don't have the book nearby, and I don't feel like getting up. But I'm reading Cat's Cradle by Kurt Vonnegut, which I would be holding up right now if I had the copy on hand. But it's been really good so far, and I had wanted to do Vonnegut and Kafka are the two that I'm really looking forward to doing right now this year. I've been really into like satire, absurdism, like very hyperbolic sort of narrative forms because I feel like the time we're living in right now is so absurdist and insane and crazy that having narrative forms that kind of poke fun at how over the top everything is feels very, I don't know, it just feels right and fun. So Cat's Cradle right now, which is like I had no idea what to expect going in, and I had a really good time with it, and it I think asks a lot of the reader in a way. Not that it asks too much of the reader, not in the way that something like House of Leaves does, which is a very sort of niche, polarizing book anyway, and it's multimedia, which again is why it's asking for review, I think. Uh, but something like Cat's Cradle is like the structure is really interesting because it's really short, sort of vignettes, which I love vignettes. So it's a fun structure for me, but also it has this weird, like, made up religion that the characters sort of the narrative character is conveying to you, and then you just get all these sort of weird, wacky characters going on, and like fun literary scenes and all that good stuff. But compared to, I think, most modern literature, it asks a great deal of you. Uh, because everybody, I think now, like I've talked about before, is so literal and so sort of stuck in just everything being very laid bare and no symbolism or obfuscation in any way. And so reading something that is like heightened like that in a real literary sense with uh, the sense of satire and everything has just been like such a joy to read because I feel like there's not a lot of modern stuff. I also just read Song of Achilles and I absolutely fucking hated it, which is, I think, another conversation for another day. But Song of Achilles felt so straightforward in a way that like really irritated me. I'm so sorry to people who like that book. Again, we could talk about it later, but oh my god. Whereas like reading someone like Kafka, who is, or not Kafka, Vonnegut, who is so like, I just like the weird wacky shit, I think, and Vonnegut is one of the best at it from the 70 pages of one book of his that I've read so far. We'll see. I have so much reading to do. I have so much reading to do. Uh, but anyway, so yeah, that's been like really, really great. Um, yeah, I have plenty more things I could ramble about, but I think it's time to be done with this for the night. Ugh, I can't speak. Um, so yeah, it was good to chat again. It's been a while. This was productive for me, and like I've been saying this whole time, just checking in with myself. So I hope everybody's doing okay. Taking care of themselves the best they can. Because I kind of haven't been. So just trying. As always, it's always a struggle. But yeah. Anyway, we'll talk to you again soon. Hopefully, like with some more fun, like I said, analysis things that I've sort of structured a bit more. Because I do want to work my way up to eventually doing like a let's play of a game uh, that I really love and giving like a full breakdown of it and having it be part let's play, but also part like video diary slash textual analysis and all such things. So anyway, yeah, I'll have to purchase a capture card. I have to get a hard drive. It's a whole thing. Uh, but this is pretty lo-fi and like fun so far to just yap at a camera and just upload it raw. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. Have a fantastic day or night or whatever it is if anybody's watching this. And I'll talk to you. I will ramble at you again soon. Okay. Bye.